Alright, so let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. What if everything you've ever been told about money, everything you learned in school, everything your parents might have advised, everything society drills into us, what if a huge chunk of that was, well, a complete and utter lie? It's a tough pill to swallow, I get it. We're talking about the core beliefs around how to earn, how to save, and how to build a life. But the truth is, many of the conventional wisdoms about money are not just outdated. They're actively designed to keep you in a cycle of working hard, but never truly getting ahead, essentially keeping you broke or just barely treading water. Think about it. Years spent in the education system, the relentless push to get a good job, the constant advice to save your money diligently. These aren't necessarily bad things in isolation, but they often form part of a larger narrative that benefits the system more than it benefits you, the individual. The traditional path often leads to a comfortable cage, not financial freedom. Schools teach us how to be good employees, not good employers or savvy investors. Jobs provide income, but often at the cost of our time, and with a cap on our earning potential. And saving, while important, is only one small piece of a much larger puzzle that the wealthy have already figured out. So today we're diving deep. We're going to pull back the curtain and expose 10 shocking money lies, many of them highlighted in the groundbreaking book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that the wealthy understand and leverage, while the majority remain blissfully unaware. These are the untruths that create a massive gap between those who accumulate wealth and those who struggle paycheck to paycheck. But before we get into the nitty-gritty and potentially shatter some of your long-held beliefs, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and smash that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear this, and definitely subscribe for more powerful insights. My goal here is to give you the tools and mindset that will genuinely transform your financial future, and it all starts with understanding these lies. Alright, let's kick things off with a big one. A foundational lie that many of us bought into for years. The idea that our formal education system, from kindergarten all the way through college, and sometimes even beyond, is adequately preparing us for financial success. We spend, 12, 16, maybe even 20 years of our lives in classrooms, learning about history, science, literature, and complex mathematics. We're taught how to memorize facts, pass exams, and follow instructions. But here's the kicker, and it's a massive one. When do they actually teach us about money? I mean, really teach us how to manage it, how to grow it, how to make it work for us instead of us constantly working for it. The shocking truth is, for the vast majority of people, the answer is never. Think about your own school experience. Did you have a mandatory class on budgeting, investing, understanding debt, or building assets? Probably not. Maybe there was an optional economics class that skimmed the surface, but practical, real-world financial literacy? It's almost entirely absent from the curriculum. The system, as it's currently structured, is largely designed to produce compliant employees, cogs in the machine, rather than independent financial thinkers or entrepreneurs. It teaches you how to get a job and earn a paycheck, but not how to build wealth. Now, let's tackle a very common misconception, one that's often romanticized. The idea that wealthy people got rich and stay rich simply by working incredibly hard for their money, grinding away day and night, trading their time directly for dollars. While hard work is undeniably a component of success in almost any field, the way the rich approach work and money is fundamentally different from how most people are taught to think. The poor dad mentality, as Kiyosaki describes it, is often stuck in the loop of go to school, get a good job, work hard, climb the ladder. This is the path of active income, where if you stop working, the money stops coming in. The rich dad perspective, however, flips this on its head. The truly wealthy, and those aspiring to be, understand that there's a limit to how much you can earn by just trading your time. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you can only work so many of them. This next one is a classic piece of advice, something probably drilled into your head by parents, grandparents, and maybe even well-meaning financial advisors. Save your money. A penny saved is a penny earned. Put it in a savings account, let it sit there, and watch it grow. While the discipline of saving is absolutely important, you need savings for emergencies, for short-term goals, for a safety net. The idea that simply hoarding cash in a bank account will make you rich, or even keep you financially secure in the long run, is a dangerous lie in today's economic environment. The biggest enemy of saved cash, the silent wealth killer, is inflation. Inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and consequently, the purchasing power of currency is falling. If your savings are sitting in an account earning, say, 0.5% interest, which is generous for many standard savings accounts these days, but inflation is running at 3%, 5%, or even higher, then your money is actually losing value every single year. You're effectively becoming poorer over time, even though the nominal amount of money in your account might be slowly ticking up. It's like trying to run up a down escalator. You're putting in effort, but you're not making real progress. Chapter 4, Lie Number 4, Your primary home is your biggest asset. This is a big one. A deeply ingrained belief in our culture, often touted as the cornerstone of the American dream, or similar ideals elsewhere. Buy a house. Your home is your biggest asset. It's a solid investment that will always go up in value. Now, I'm not saying homeownership is inherently bad. Owning a home can provide stability, a sense of pride, and for many, it's a significant personal goal. However, the way Rich Dad Poor Dad defines an asset, and the way financially savvy individuals think about assets, often puts your primary residence squarely in the liability column, at least initially. Let's get clear on the definitions here because this is crucial. According to Robert Kiyosaki, an asset is something that... Chapter 5, Lie Number 5, Avoiding risk is smart. Fear is your biggest financial enemy. Let's talk about something that holds so many people back from achieving their financial goals. Fear. Specifically, the fear of losing money, the fear of making a mistake, the fear of the unknown when it comes to investing or starting a business. The conventional wisdom, often subtly, or not so subtly, encourages us to play it safe, to avoid risk at all costs. Don't put your money in the stock market, it's too risky. Stick with a secure job, entrepreneurship is for gamblers. This advice, while often well-intentioned, is based on a lie. The lie that avoiding all financial risk is the smartest path. The truth, as highlighted in Rich Dad Poor Dad and understood by successful investors and entrepreneurs, is that fear, particularly the fear of loss, is often your biggest financial enemy. It paralyzes you. It keeps you stuck in your comfort zone, which ironically can be the riskiest place of all in the long run, especially if that comfort zone involves only saving cash, which loses to inflation, or relying on a single source of income, a job that could disappear. The wealthy understand that risk is an inherent part of building wealth. The key is not to avoid risk entirely, but to understand it, manage it, and learn how to take calculated risks. Chapter 6, Lie Number 6. Getting rich is about luck or circumstance. Your mindset is key. Here's a pervasive lie that many people tell themselves, often as a way to rationalize their own financial situation or the success of others. Getting rich is all about luck, or you have to be born into money, or only greedy people get rich. These beliefs essentially abdicate personal responsibility and attribute wealth entirely to external factors beyond one's control. While luck and circumstance can certainly play a role, nobody denies that. The idea that they are the determinants of financial success is a disempowering myth. The truth, as emphasized by countless successful individuals and a core tenet of the Rich Dad philosophy, is that your mindset controls your wallet. The difference between those who build wealth and those who don't often comes down to their fundamental beliefs and attitudes about money, opportunities, and themselves. A poor mindset, regardless of current income, tends to focus on scarcity, limitations, and obstacles. Chapter 7, Lie Number 7. It's too complicated to understand assets versus liabilities. Many people shy away from taking control of their finances because they believe it's all incredibly complicated, filled with jargon and complex formulas that only experts can understand. This leads them to either ignore their financial situation or blindly hand over responsibility to someone else. One of the most fundamental concepts that Rich Dad Poor Dad demystifies, and one that is often perceived as more complex than it is the distinction between assets and liabilities. The lie is that this is difficult to grasp. The truth is, it's incredibly simple, yet profoundly powerful once you truly internalize it. Let's break it down again because it's worth repeating until it's second nature. There's a common narrative, often fueled by media headlines and a general distrust of the wealthy, that rich people get rich or stay rich by illegally evading taxes, hiding their money in offshore accounts, and generally cheating the system. While tax evasion is indeed illegal and does happen, The far more common truth and a key insight from Rich Dad Poor Dad is that the wealthy don't primarily taxes. They tax laws and use them to their legal advantage. The tax system isn't so much rigged in a nefarious way as it is designed with specific incentives and deductions that favor certain types of income and activities, particularly those related to business ownership and investing. The average person, typically an employee, earns money, has taxes taken out automatically, and then tries to live on what's left. They have very little control over their tax burden. Business owners and sophisticated investors, however, often operate under a different set of rules. They can earn money, spend money on legitimate business expenses, which reduces their taxable income, and then pay taxes on what's left, if anything. Building directly on our last point about taxes, let's address another common misconception: the idea that the tax system is designed so that everyone, especially the wealthy, pays their fair share, and that employees are somehow getting a better deal. The uncomfortable truth, as Rich Dad Poor Dad makes clear, is that if your primary or sole source of income is a salary from a job, W-2 income in the US, you are often in the category of people who pay the highest of their income in taxes, with the least amount of control over that taxation. This isn't necessarily about the absolute dollar amount, but the effective tax rate and the lack of legal avenues to reduce it. Think about the process for an employee. You earn your salary, and before you even see your paycheck, federal income tax, state income tax in most places, Social Security tax and Medicare tax are automatically deducted. What you receive is your net pay. You have very few ways to legally reduce that initial gross income for tax purposes before these deductions hit. Finally, let's bring it full circle to the theme we started with: education. The pervasive lie, often perpetuated from a young age, is that a good formal education, a college degree, a master's, a PhD, is the ultimate ticket to financial success and wealth. Get good grades, go to a good college, get a good job, and you'll be set for life. While a formal education can certainly open doors, provide valuable skills, and lead to higher-paying jobs, it is absolutely not a guarantee of wealth, nor is it the important type of education when it comes to building true financial independence. The real power, the education that truly changes your financial life is. This is the understanding of how money works, how to earn it in multiple ways, not just a salary, how to manage it effectively, how to invest it wisely, how to understand debt, assets, liabilities, cash flow, and the economic forces that shape our world. Wow, we've covered a lot today, and I genuinely hope that exposing these 10 money lies, many inspired by the timeless wisdom of Rich Dad Poor Dad, has really opened your eyes and got you thinking differently about your finances. If even one of these points resonated with you, imagine the profound impact that immersing yourself in the full book could have on your financial trajectory. It's not just about theory, it's about a fundamental shift in mindset that can unlock doors you never even knew existed. The path from financial struggle to financial freedom often begins with unlearning the myths that hold us back. If this video has sparked a desire to take control and really dive deeper, I highly recommend grabbing your own copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad. You can find a link in the description below. It's one of those books that people read and reread, gaining new insights each time. And hey, if you're inspired to start building those assets we talked about, particularly an online business which can be an amazing way to generate income with low startup costs, I also recommend checking out Systeme.io. It's a fantastic all-in-one platform, and you can get started for free using the link in the description. Seriously though, if this video helped you, if it gave you even a single aha moment, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It really helps the channel reach more people who need to hear this message. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more weekly videos designed to fuel your financial transformation and empower you with practical, actionable advice. Finally, share this video with a friend, a family member, or a colleague who you know is still stuck in that paycheck-to-paycheck trap, or just needs a fresh perspective on money. Let's spread this knowledge and help each other build a wealthier, more secure future. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.